Hi guys, I'm this movie guy, and today I'm reviewing Star Wars Rebels Season 3, Episode 8, Iron Squadron. If this is the first time that you're watching any of my Star Wars Rebels reviews, well, with that I already said it. This is not the first of my Star Wars Rebels reviews. I've reviewed every episode of Season 3 so far, and I did Season 1 and 2 as a whole. If you've missed any of those, they're up on my channel. They're in a playlist, which I call my Star Wars reviews or something like that. So it should be easy to find, and you should probably see some of those or all of those reviews to really fully understand what I think about this great show that I really do love. I also have to say that I assume you've seen the episode. You know, the episode just aired, and yeah, you should have just seen the episode. So, spoiler alert for if you've not seen it. You should click off the review if you've not seen the episode. Now, usually I would make a case about, oh, we didn't have our Rebels episode last week and that sucked and whatnot. But, you know, I'm not going to do that because I got this baby. I'm so happy with it. I'll explain a little bit more about that later, but I'll get into that later. Anyway, 2 weeks ago I predicted that this would be about a squadron of fighters because, you know, I only see the title of the episode, Iron Squadron, and a brief synopsis, but the synopsis wasn't really clear. I was just expecting it's going to be about a squadron of fighters, right? I was wrong about that, okay. I admit that I was wrong. It was about a YT model freighter with kids on board that are trying to protect their planet in that freighter. And so far they have defended against the Empire, but then the Ghost Crew comes in and they're like, oh, you haven't seen a Star Destroyer yet. No, we've seen a Star Destroyer, we defeated that. No, that wasn't a Star Destroyer. Star Destroyer is a lot bigger. Oh, okay, sure, you know, whatever. So then they figure out they do have to evacuate, especially after actually seeing the Star Destroyer at the very end. It's like, okay, yeah, no, that's some serious shit. So yeah, at the end, they get away from the Star Destroyer, they get away from that planet, really, and the kids of Iron Squadron join the rebellion, at least I assume. That's basically what happens. I liked the episode up until a certain point where I was really questioning what they were doing. But let's just start off this review with saying what I did like about the episode. I was expecting a space battle. I got a space battle. I'm a simple man. If I want a space battle and I get a space battle and it's good, then I'm happy with that. It was just fun, good action, entertaining, happy. Yay! Good. That was basically all I was looking for in this episode. I was really expecting a whole lot about the episode. To begin with, the expectations came when Thrawn came into the episode, and then I started to get a little disappointed. But I'll get into that later. But just, it starts right off the bat with a space battle that was cool. I like that, entertaining, because this was a fun episode overall, you know. It was a fun, entertaining episode. That's really what I will say about it. Something that I have to say though, this is kind of a confession. Guys, I hope you're ready for this. I'm going to marry Harrison Dula one day. I really am. I have a mad crush on that Twi'lek. I mean, not just because she is gorgeous. I mean, she is very well animated and whatnot, but her character, like how she is as a personality and as a leader of this rebellion, I'm in love with her. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just in love with that Twi'lek. It's like, she's amazing. And when I recently made my list of all-time favorite Star Wars characters, she came in number 5. Like, behind Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Han Solo. Like, those 4 characters, like, are the end-all be-all of Star Wars characters, and then comes in Harrison Dula above Leia and Rey and whatnot. It's like, I don't know, there's something wrong with me probably, but I am in love with her. It's like, Hera is such a great character. I love her personality. I love how she is as a leader of this group. She is smart, she's funny, she is, I don't really know. I just should stop talking. I think the point is clear that I really love Harrison Dula. I have issues. No, I don't. I'm just in love. Anywho, was really cool to see her as the leader of the Ghost Crew in this episode, and also the Ghost Crew themselves. It's like, I really like the dynamic of the entire team together, and it's been a while since we've seen the entire Ghost Crew in the entire episode just work together well, because that is what this episode was. We saw the entire Ghost Crew work together to make sure that the Iron Squadron is saved, and that was really cool to have that dynamic back again, because I like all the 6 characters of the Ghost Crew, even Chopper and Zeb. Like, those are my least favorite of the characters of that crew, but they're still good characters, they're still fun, and it's just nice to have all of them work together. So that was really cool in this episode. None of the episodes are without flaws, and this definitely was not without flaws, because, you know, this was not really one of my favorite episodes of this season. I did like it though, but I had some issues, and these issues are very likely to go away in the future. But as of right now, I have to judge this episode as I see it right now. I have not seen episode 9, 10, 11, the rest in the future. I have seen episode 8 and what came before it, and what comes after it. So the issue what I have is that they are really setting up something with Thrawn. Thrawn has now made a few appearances, and every time at the end of the episode he lets them get away. And especially in this case, I was annoyed by that. Like, the previous times I was not really annoyed by that, because then it made sense. It was like, no, they're setting that up. But this time, Commander Sato comes into the battle. Thrawn also comes in. This is really like the first time that Thrawn comes in with a Star Destroyer, and it's like, shit is going to go down, right? No. I was really expecting that Commander Sato would at least get captured by Thrawn at that point. And then you would have a great cliffhanger for the next one. But this doesn't really work with cliffhangers. They really went for a one-off. And I also think they didn't want to go really dark with this episode, because the overall tone of the episode, it didn't really fit. But the reason I love Rebels is because even though it's a kid's show, this show can get dark sometimes. Especially with Twilight of the Apprentice and some of the episodes we've seen this season so far. And I will admit that this particular episode never really called for the fact that someone would get captured or killed, but it was something that I would love to have seen, because if Thrawn would have just captured Sato at least, that would have been a great cliffhanger for the next one. And I was a little bit disappointed that he didn't do that, but I think, yeah, you know, Thrawn is a master tactician, and this was just another setup, another piece of the puzzle that we are going to see in the future. So it really depends, like, how that payoff is going to be. If the payoff is going to be great at the end, I have no issue with that whatsoever. But as of right now, I'm like, I want to see that and not this episode. So that's basically my issue with it. Also, like I said, this was a really kiddie episode. The crew of the Iron Squadron, the 3 kids, I was like, Kitty didn't really care for them at all. And that really was disappointing, because when something is called Iron Squadron and it's about the Iron Squadron, these 3 kids, I'm supposed to care for them. If I don't care, it's like, kind of disappointing. So I will say that while I did like the overall episode, I did have some issues with it that just made it not one of the best of the season. That's really all I can say about that. It felt like a setup episode, so let's just see what we have got coming next week. The episode is called The Winkathu Job. First of all, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Second of all, the description that I saw on StarWarsNewsNet.com, by the way, that's a really good site to get Star Wars news from. But the description on that is that it's going to be a team up with pirates. Hondo Ohnaka. Anyone? Please just tell me it's Hondo Ohnaka already, you know? Has to be Hondo. I really like Hondo. He's a really funny character, so I'm probably going to enjoy the next episode. It's probably going to be one of the more filler episodes, not necessarily a very good episode that really advances the plot, but I'm okay with that. It's going to be a fun episode with Hondo. I like Hondo, I like the Ghost Crew. Whoever they pair up with Hondo, I'm going to be okay with it. Probably. But I'll see that next week, so be sure to check out my review next week. Now, before I wrap up my review, at the beginning of this review I said something about this book, Catalyst. I've not finished it yet, so I can't really give a full review right now. I will give my full review somewhere in the next couple of days when I finished it and really have made a review. So look out for the full review, but for now I can say that you do want to read this book. You really do. It's one of the best that is in the new canon so far. It reminded me of Lost Stars and Bloodline, my two favorites so far in the new canon. It is so good, and believe me, you do want to read this one before Rogue One comes out. It won't spoil the things in Rogue One. It will just tell you about the characters like Krennic and Galen Erso and his wife and his daughter Jyn, of course. So be sure to pick up Catalyst if you haven't already. And now that I've given my thoughts on the latest episode of Rebels, I wonder, what do you think of it? Did you like it? Did you not? Whatever you think, please let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you've liked my review and you want to see more of my movie and trailer reviews, click right here.